Final race then on Monday, race number 10. It's a Class 2 contest. 1,200 metres is the trip, headed by Super Fluke, a three-time course and distance winner. He drops in class. Good record in this grade as well. California Fortune likes to roll forward. He's got barrier 5. Wishful Thinker third behind Winner's Way on the opening day. Little Giant, his first start since October 2017. He's won 2 of 3. Good standing returns as well after injury problems. Solomon's Bay, a headgear change. Cheek pieces go on. Cruising goes up in class. Winner at the back end of last year. Warm Room makes his debut, and Winston's Lad. He's on a hat-trick. Been well spaced, the 3 wins if he pulls it off, but he goes up in class as well. Super Fluke has been up at Chung Fa, came back middle of September. He's first up here.
Plenty of pace, Andrew. Cruising, Fantastic 8, Shamal, they're all horses with lots of pace, as is California Fortune, who may have to sit in behind. Raging Storm's a horse that showed speed. Little Giant's positioned beautifully, you would think, from barrier 2. To race handy after leading and winning his most recent trial. So there does look to be a lot of pace. War Room, the former Perth horse, likely to get back.
Here is Wishful Thinker, and he's going nicely here on the back of his last start, third. He's come out of that race with no problems, under a stranglehold as well, so he's just doing it under his own steam. Little Giant's had his issues. He's a very talented horse, tooth and free here in Hong Kong, and he's had hoof problems right throughout his career, but he seems to be over those. And a recent trial suggests that as well. He moves nicely now in the mornings. And Cruising's a nice, big, strong horse. He's only had the 2 starts, but he's gone really well in both of them. And he looks good once again as well with his track work, just in traffic there a little bit. All right, we'll come back and have a look at Cruising in due course. Let's start off, though, with Little Giant. He's had his issues. David Hall's been very patient with him. Let's hear from the jockey, Zach Burton.
Little Giant, Zach, we know he's had his issues. How's he felt in the mornings with you?
He's been good. It's taken him a long time to get to where he's at now, fitness-wise. He's been blowing the house down and heaving, you know, even in his work, he's still having a good blow. So all that time off, you know, is never good. I'm sure he'll improve after this run, but he's a horse that has shown he's raced well fresh before, and he's drawn a nice gate, so he's going to get a nice run and he'll get his chance.
Has it been a bit frustrating with him? 2.5 years, 3 runs, but obviously he's got plenty of ability there.
Yeah, very frustrating when you see the horses that he raced around previously going on to do great things, and he's basically stuck in his box with a cracked foot all the time. It's not much fun, but he's back at the races now, and hopefully we can try and get the best out of him.
Yeah, it should be an exciting season, hopefully, for Little Giants, given a chance here in quite a deep field. A few others to take a look at, though, including Wishful Thinker. Now, we've already looked at this race because we're looking at it for Winner's Way, but Wishful Thinker comes here with a chance.
Yeah, we're all giving him a chance, even in this race. Chief Executives Cup, lightweight, Class 1. He ran a bottler, I thought. Now he's got to go back into Class 2, carry weight. California Fortune's got to do the same. He's gone back to the trials and performed brilliantly too. So despite the fact they've got the weight, they do have the class, this pair. Yeah, definitely. And I found a spot for Wishful Thing. I thought it was a good run there, and the race wasn't really run to suit, was it? But he got bumped a couple of times.
Yeah, early in the race, going into that turn, a little bit unbalanced. It didn't all go to plan, but still ran a big race. Cruising, lightly raced as well. He's certainly going places. This is his win back at the start of July. He's fresh up here.
He only had the 2 starts. I thought he won this race really nicely. Now, it was a really good rider. He had a really good trail and on this occasion from Umberto Responsibly, who does ride him once again here on Monday. But look, it was a really good run. I think he's got rating points in hand. He does come in with a lightweight. I think he can be competitive in Class 2. And I thought it was a soft win in the end, so I found a spot for him.
Come a long way from his debut at Strathalbyn in country South Australia. He's a nice horse going forward. It's an awkward barrier. I wanted to squeeze him in. I couldn't, but he'll go higher this season, I would have thought.
All right, good standing, much like Little Giant has had some injury problems. But he looks, from what we've been seeing in the mornings, the trials and track work, like he's back.
Yeah, even his first up run, he was enormous, and obviously he then finished last behind Pinghai Star. Bled, has had a fever back in June. He was gelded back in February as well. So he's been off the scene and had some time to recover. Very talented galloper. Barrier 9 was a little concerned first up, but he's got plenty of quality.
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to see him when the pressure goes on, so I didn't put him in the numbers. We'll see what happens there.
All right, and John Moore in our pre-season special said he was his horse to follow for the season. Solomon's Bay, this is a beautiful trial as well, a horse with a big white face.
Yeah, he came through nicely, didn't he? And Raging Storm was just a quiet trial at the back. But you can see a really nice trial here from Solomon's Bay. And he did show some good form last season. He raced at Happy Valley a couple of times. And coming here to Sha Tin, it'll be interesting to see how he goes.
Raging Storm trial, very quiet as you mentioned there, Paul. His trial prior to that was much better. He was an exceptional 3-year-old. He broke 1.9 a couple of times over 1,200 metres as a 3-year-old. Serious animal for me.
This is a really strong finish to the programme. Paul, who did you end up with?
I went with Little John. He's over his problems. He's got a nice barrier draw. I think he's a very good horse. He was beating Humidor back in New Zealand before he got here. Humidor's a multiple Group 1 winner now in Australia. Cruising in there for second. I think he can go higher in the ratings. From the back, Wishful Thinker and Raging Storm. 4, 12, 3 and 10. I'll go Exotics though because it's a really good race.
I'm going to be happy just to have a little each-way bet here on number 11, Raging Storm. Outstanding, or number 10 actually, a Raging Storm. Yeah, don't get the number wrong. Outstanding 3-year-old, as I mentioned. Some of the things he did as a 3-year-old, burning the candle at both ends in 1 or 2 races, exceptional. Lightweight here. I expect him to do big things this prep. Wishful Thinker, the danger, California Fortune. I've got Little Giant in just ahead of a Cruising, but it's a tip-top race.
It certainly is. I've landed with Solomon's Bay, very taken with that trial. I thought he was progressive last year as well. All right, as far as stats are concerned, we're going to focus on Benno Young this week, Paul.
Yeah, look, he's started off the season very well, so I thought I'd like to show him. He's had a 1 win, but 3 seconds, a third and a fourth. So he's got a first ball rate of all his runners of 75% and the Sha Tin turf, that is. And so he's got a really good strike rate. He's got 4 really good chances on Monday, full of chances. City Legend, Diamond King and Cruising. So I think all 4 can easily win or be placed.
And 3 of those ridden by Responsibly.
You're
got
right,
a day full of chances.
You'd pass for lunch, didn't you?
Best bet.
I'm going to go with a horse called Strathallan there in race number 1. He's got barrier number 12. He's had 2 runs as a juvenile. He's been gelded, ready to go. So Strathallan for me in race 1. And my long shot, $12 at the moment. Hope the price holds up because it's a really good price for a horse that runs really well fresh, Diamond King. And your man Umberto aboard him, Diamond King.
You'll see more of the winker, I feel.
There you go. And for the play of the day, for the exotics, I went Strathallan Romantic Chef, the first starter, and Bumble Baby in race 1.
I'm going to shop Ichi Way with Shining On. For Vincent Ho, who's had a good start to the season too, 4.12. You'll get an each way price. That's the way to play him for me. I think there's a few others. I like Aero Happiness again. I think he'll be hard to beat. Bigwood, Caris Teton, this trial enormous. It's an open race. He'll need some pace, but he'll be a decent price, I would have thought. Wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of late money for him. It is a competitive contest. Same race, Patriot Hero, Bigwood, Racing Luck, that QQP should produce some nice little dividends, should it be successful.
Yeah, I like that Quinella as well. Best bet for me, it is full of chances, and I think he could have an absolute hatful on Monday. And Responsibly, race number 2, good run behind Great Treasure, gets up in trip, looks well placed, drawn well as well. And in the last race, Solomon's Bay, he's 13 and 490 at the moment. Good draw as well for Solomon's Bay, fresh up, but it's a really, really good race. The last, and as far as the play is concerned, we'll go in race number 10, Wishful Thinker, Little Giant, and Solomon's Bay, 3, 4 and 8, but there's a stack of other chances in there as well. Well, there you go. Looking forward to this. The group races kick off on Monday, and hopefully a lot of these horses, whether it be in the sprint or the mile, we'll see them in December too.
That's right. It's a stepping stone, isn't it, Andrew? Of course, we have a couple more group races coming up at the end of October, Patrons Bowl, etc., and we'll probably see a few more arrive on that day to commence their preps as we head towards the trials in November, the international trials, and then big races in December.
It's all happening.
It is. It will be on Monday. So looking forward to that. And back at Happy Valley, quick backup for us on Wednesday night back at the Valley. But that's the show. Thanks for watching. On behalf of Paul, Brett and the rest of the team, hopefully we'll see you at Sha Tin for National Day and the first group race of the season on Monday.